Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's
Part of the rehab.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I couldn't, that's why days are kind of built in for when you're supposed to get to work. So I had to get it in yesterday.
When did that
I got 2 weeks up to throwing, and this was pretty much the last week of the program. I do like hitting program, I start throwing or hitting live next week.
take you back to go hit those pages?
Yeah, they dropped me off.
Brendan is a guy who hates sitting out, being out of the mix. How hard has this been? How much has this taught you patience and trust the process kind of sort of thing?
My wife would probably say that I don't have any patience, but we're trying. It's been a bit of a learning experience. Being out is never fun, but I think injuries aren't exactly enjoyable, but they teach you a lot about yourself and how your body's supposed to perform. So moving forward, hopefully it prevents others.
When you're able to sort of let it eat now, when you feel like your arm feels, do you notice now in retrospect maybe a difference in how it was when it started last year or whenever maybe they started going for it?
Yeah, pain-free throwing is kind of the goal, and we're at that point. Early on, you kind of have some nagging things. Nothing was in the elbow, but other parts of your arm are compensating. So to be pain-free now is definitely different.
So you got to the point yet where you think sort of mentally like trust it, right? Like you know it's there, you don't have to worry about how this is going to feel when it comes out.
Yeah, we've stressed it. We put it through a gauntlet of stress tests. I mean, everything throwing is a workout in itself. The hitting is a workout in itself. We put other things. So I'm very happy with how the process is going. We got an awesome team, and it's been good.
Do you have a preference of where you want to play?
Just play. I'll be in the lineup. I think one thing Tommy and I do is like we can give some guys flexibility. So I just want to be in there. If I can give guys days and I can get in there every day, I think it's good for us and good for the club.
Donovan mentioned yesterday that they had a lot of calls, a lot of different players. They were looking up for his pitching, and a lot of teams interested in making potential trade offers for position guys. How did you handle all that unknown this offseason, or did you have clarity? And what does it mean to you that you're here right now?
No, I think it's special. I want to be here. I want to play here for a long time. It's good to be wanted for sure. I mean, it's never bad, but you know, it's not something I can control. I know it's easier said than done. Control what you can control, but I can't really control that. I can control right now my rehab and my preparation and my mindset and who I am off the field. So that's what I'm focused on, and I'm just glad I'm still wearing these colors.
Last year I know you talked about when you were still playing, even though you had stuff going on with the elbow. You just wanted to get him the help in the lineup. What was it like for you just going through that stretch when you after you had surgery and shut it down? You weren't able to do anything. What was that like for you just having to sort of go through that?
Yeah, it was strange. Didn't exactly enjoy it. Wanted to be here. Got to listen to Chip and Brad, so that's cool. But other than that, you know, it's not exactly when you're a part of something and you put a lot into it, and then you kind of get sidelined by something you can't really control. It sucks, but you know, it's if anything, it just kind of motivates you a little more.
Then when you report to spring this year, what's important for you to establish early on, whether it's health or performance? Is there something in particular that you're looking to establish?
I think it's just getting into games and playing. When you have a pretty significant break away from games, sometimes it's a little harder to get back into it. But I've been training the body to be ready for that, getting cleats on, being out in the dirt, throwing balls across the infield, things like that. So spring training for me is just getting my body and my mind just ready to go for 162 and more.
Is it your hope, your expectation that on day one spring you'll be on like a normal schedule like you have in past springs, or is it going to have to work some of that stuff?
Yeah, my goal is that when I show up and when you guys show up, nobody can tell. Nobody knows that I had a surgery. I'm look good. Hopefully I look even better. Hopefully it looks a little more crisp and fluid. And so that's the goal. Nobody knows.
When did you start the throwing program? What was that first throw like that you had to kind of trust it and know that it was healed? Is that kind of a mental hurdle getting over that? When did you start the throwing program?
Yeah, so I believe you started at 12 weeks post-op. So you have a little while, and we were crushing. So you're locked in that brace for a month, and then two, you can't really sweat because the incision needs to heal.
Mhm.
So getting back into it isn't exactly fun. I just think back to those bike sprints. Not exactly an enjoyable experience, but the first throw was a bit of a lollipop, but it was within the catching range. So that was good. I've been very happy. We've been very detail oriented and making sure we have that feel and making sure that we're using my whole body to throw. So yes, I had to learn how to trust it, but it was good because now I have no doubts.
You've been around one, like using the facility there and that stuff.
Yeah, I've been at Jupiter all off season.
You and Nolan Gorman kind of lean on each other, drive each other. He said you're constantly sending him messages because he's kind of going through a process with his back. You're going through the arm thing. How much have you guys kind of gone back and forth and motivated each other?
Yeah, so we talk a lot, and luckily we played together for a long time. We've been teammates at every level, even in the fall league. So to have someone like that to lean on is pretty important. And sometimes you need an outside set of eyes and an outside opinion. Hey, man, what do you think about this? And it's good to see him. He looks great. He said he feels great, so he's going to have a good year.
You really seemed to hit your stride at the end of May until the end of your season. Was there anything like you were doing differently, adjustments you were making that kind of propelled you to the end of your season?
I think it was like, yeah, there's always some adjustments. For me, it was like I had to make the adjustment to the league just based off of how they were pitching me. My rookie year, I swung at like 11% of first pitches. And then we got something that I just wasn't very trusting and confident in, was going on pitches early in the count. I was like, oh, let me make them work. But then you're 0-1 every count, and then they're picking and throwing stuff off of that. So they kind of have the edge, I guess you could say. So for me, it was like just going up there and trusting that I can get good, intense swings off earlier in counts. And once I started doing that, I think I started turning the corner a little bit because it was a little bit of a rough month. But I mean, that's this game. You're gonna have good months, and those rough months, you try to keep them within reach. You want to make sure you're going on good pitches and finding a way to still be productive.
Before you shut it down last year, you were kind of trying to play just big, or you wanted to keep going. The conversation I'm sure was had about if you take care of this now, you'll be glad you did. Has that switch happened yet, where has it gone from you're glad that you addressed it versus trying to kind of play it out through the end?
Yeah, I'm glad we got it fixed. I feel great. I just didn't want it to snowball into next year. It's one thing to miss some time at the end of one season and for it to carry on into the other. I think it was a good time. We had a little bit of a built-in window if we did have setbacks. Luckily, we haven't had any setbacks. We've been very, detail-oriented with this whole process. Because it's a holistic approach. It's not just like rehabbing your elbow, right? You're rehabbing your whole body. This is just a byproduct of something else that was going on. So rehabbing your mind, your whole body, and like I said, it's hopefully prevents future things. But I'm very glad with the timing.
This is somebody who's always been able to find a spot on the field, lots of different spots. That stretch where you were only DH, did that give you an opportunity to sort of learn what that is like and how to build a mentality to just be a DH sometimes?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You hit and then you go sit down. So there's times where I realize I'm like, I should probably get up and move around a little bit. And I'm sure Turner Ward was sick of me because I would just sit there and just annoy the crap out of him. So, but it was good, to look at it from strictly a hitting perspective. It was like I could really dive into the approach a little more. But I also do like being able to completely switch gears and go play defense. And my thing is like if I DH. Once I, like all my prep work and everything, once I go out for the game, I'm not allowed, I will not let myself go back under and hit anymore. Because I'm playing the field, I'm not doing that. So what I got today is what I got. If I feel like crap, if I feel good, no matter what it is, it's like, I'm just going to go compete. And so I think I try to take some of those aspects of when I am playing both sides of the ball, but it was different.
I think guys mentioned, Corbin mentioned that a little bit of like maybe doing less swing work throughout the game, as opposed to just getting ready for the game and going to play the game. How did you find that too? That when you see some guys go up and down throughout the game and try to make corrections in between at bats?
Yeah, I think a part of it's being stubborn and not letting myself go down there. And then two, even though I'm not playing defense, I still try to put my mind in the frame of mind I would be playing defense. Like if I'm playing in this position, in this scenario, or this hitter's up, like would I be, this guy likes his breaking ball. I'm I might be leaning a little bit this way because I know he likes to get the head out, or whatever the situation may be. Try to put myself in that frame of mind where I feel like, all right, now I'm playing defense, even though I'm not actually playing defense. So now I'm out here, I'm supporting the guys and do this, and I'm not going to let myself go under it.
You were key piece. Go ahead.
I was asking, what do you feel like is lost? Like in you're focusing too much on whether it's a swing or video or like Ben said, I know Nolan mentioned like coming up with something where and all that stuff. Like, there's something that gets lost when you get in the box if you're in that mindset too much, or as opposed to like if you use the term like you to compete with the pitcher.
Yeah, so I'm very analytical in my preparation, and I try to play very close school in my style of play. I think if you're worried about internal things, you can take away from external things. If I'm worried about where my hands are or how my load is, then I'm not really focused on being on time, swinging at a good pitch, and competing. If I can be like, I'm just going to be on time, I'm trying to hit a line drive here, I believe that the body will self-organize itself to have success. So I think if you thinking is never good. I think there's times to think, especially in baseball, but if you're thinking in the box, it's you kind of already, it's like hitting with one hand tied behind your back.
You were a key piece on the team in 22 that made a playoff run, played well in the second half. Last year was totally different. What's the text change been like with the team and the guys, and how eager are they to get this thing back on the right track?
Yeah, you got a very motivated, hungry team to win. You've got some great acquisitions this offseason. There's some very good key pieces, and you will see a different product out there this year.
You get that sense. You get that sense from your teammates like every day, or are guys sending motivation to one another?
Yeah, no, it's been really good communication.
Does it help that the season starts sooner or later for you guys because you gotta have a show with the show Otani and all that going on, but also it's a place where you guys can say, here's what we can do this year too.
Yeah, I mean, so it's, I mean, really the only difference is just like, is the weather, honestly. Like, our mentality is we don't really care who we're playing. Like, if we show up and we do the right things, and we have a chance to beat anybody, and that's the approach that we're going to take.
A lot's been made of the additions to the pitching staff, but on the position player side, it's a lot of returning guys. What does that say about, I guess, the confidence your organization has in the group that you guys have? And what kind of lineup do you think y'all would be this year?
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, you have some really good key pieces, and you have some guys that have gotten at bats last year and the year before, and they're just continuing to grow and evolve. So I think it can be a very dynamic lineup, and like you said, you got great additions. So I really like how this club is coming together.
You look around the clubhouse, maybe it's the team chat at this point in the season. Do you see yourself being a guy who can speak a little bit more in terms of a leadership role, having been through some things, and there are now some guys in key spots in this team who haven't had as much experience as you've gained?
Yeah, so I mean, the leadership role, it's like there's no days off in leadership, and that's the way that we're going to take it. It's all about accountability, standards, and expectations, and we're going to build this organization and reestablish it for the core values. So I mean, yes, absolutely, I'm going to do everything I can to speak up, and I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to try to lead by example, but I do believe that there are times when we should speak.
Well, thanks, Dowdy. Appreciate you taking the time.